Donald Trump is threatening to make French fries at a McDonald's. Please let this happen. Chris Graham, Augusta Free Press here. Now, Donald Trump doesn't have time for a second debate with Kamala Harris, but he has time apparently for a publicity stunt involving McDonald's that we all just have to hope and pray and do whatever we can do to make this happen, right? Here's a quote. I'm going to go to McDonald's next week. Someplace I'm going to go might not be here in your place. I'm going to go to McDonald's and I'm going to work the French fry job for about a half hour. I want to see how it is. That's what he told attendees at a rally in Pennsylvania the other night. Again, please make this happen. If there's a God in heaven, this has to happen. I mean, it's just the setup to this event was that it just has to happen. Is that the easily trolled Trump has let himself again get trolled by MAGA dimwits who claim to have truthed Harris's story about working in McDonald's while in college. The Harris campaign released a TV ad last month that played up the experience she had working at the McDonald's in college. It was to highlight her middle class upbringing and contrast it with how Trump is one of those people about whom we say was born on third base and think they hit a triple. Um, to that end, I gotta make an aside here. Seriously, research on Trump on this point. At the age of 3, his father started paying him $300,000 a year. He was a real life Richie Rich. And Fred Trump made his money, I mean, the smart way, the easy way with other people's money. That's how you make money when you become as fabulously wealthy as a Trump or a Elon Musk. In Fred Trump's case, it was tapping into FDA home loan guarantees to build rows and rows of cheap houses in the Queens part of New York City. He gamed the system after that, after making all of his money, to give the money to his kids, including the dense one. The contrast here, I would say, is that more of us can identify with somebody who had to work her way through college by, in part, running the frying machine at the McDonald's than someone who was a real life Richie Rich. Um, Here was Trump again at this forum. Quote, she never worked there, and these fake news reporters will never report it. Yeah, she never worked at McDonald's. He said it was a big part of her resume, supposedly. They went and they went to different places. Did she work here? Did she work here? Did she work here? I don't know what he's saying here to the imaginary conversation. We don't know who the hell she is. Leave us alone. We're making hamburgers. I mean, this is what Trump does. He just makes up stuff off the top of his head. Now, let me point out, I had a lot of these jobs. If you're going to truth me and say, well, you don't have it on your LinkedIn resume, and we found a copy of your resume from 1998 or whatever, it doesn't have these jobs on it. Um, you don't put these kind of jobs on your resume, but I worked at the McDonald's locally in Waynesboro in high school. I didn't work the fries. I will point that out. I did make sandwiches and then also work the register at different times. You don't do both. You don't want to touch money and then make a sandwich. But I never worked the fries. I don't think they trusted me to work the fries. I don't know. I didn't trust myself to work the fries. They looked hot over there. I also, obviously, at the Hardee's, I also worked cash register, never worked behind the scenes at the Hardee's. Now, I did get to make, let's see, I had to make milkshakes there at the Hardee's. Had to pour coffee. I mean, that's not so hard. Milkshake. Oh, the ice cream cones. You had to twist the ice cream cone around, make it look pretty. So that was something I did there. I ran the flame broiler at the Burger King. Didn't work the cash register there like I did at the other two places. Um, the flame broiler, that was a hot job, I will tell you, because that thing was hot on. I mean, it's a flame broiler. You don't. What you did was there was this long conveyor belt. You stuck on one side of the conveyor belt because it was probably about this wide, maybe a little wider. On the one side, you would stick the burger or Whopper, and then on the other side, you stick the bread. The bun and the top of the bun, bottom of the bun, and then they would roll down slowly, and it would broil. And then, and they did. They made them fresh. I mean, when a person ordered, you didn't have stuff sitting around. McDonald's had stuff sitting around when I worked there, but the Burger King hamburgers, person ordered double Whopper with cheese and whatever, and you made it then. So that give them credit. That was true. But it was hot. That was a hot job. I I had horrible acne as it was growing up, in teen years, and that did not help it. Did not help it at all. I delivered pizzas at Papa John's. and also worked at a local convenience store again, running a cash register where I got to work. I got to use a deli slicer, and that was fun. I mean, that deli slicer thing was great. Um, Having done those jobs, I can speak from experience. They're not for the faint of heart. I mean, they're maybe not the most mentally challenging jobs, but I mean, standing there in a hot kitchen, or working a cash register dealing with people who are varying degrees of sober. Um, no, not for the faint of heart, and it's hard work. It's hard work. So if Trump does this stunt, 30 minutes, it's not the last 30 minutes. If he does it, it would last 30 seconds. He would find out for himself that it's not easy. But one thing he will not find out with the stunt is that what it feels like to work for minimum wage or just above minimum wage and be able to make it in life. So he can bluster his way through the fry machine for a few seconds or a couple minutes at the most, and pretend like he identifies with what people mostly like you and me go through on a regular basis, but it just won't be the same. So, hey, if you've got any news tips for me, any comments, any story suggestions, anything of that nature, just want to say hi. Feel free to please email me at chris@augustafreepress.com.